got a message today in celebration of despair. And very fittingly, I have a really gloomy image of the crucifixion behind me. And meanwhile, this light of the sun shining through. So, particularly the flavor of despair that comes from disconnection to yourself. So, for anyone out there who is asking what to do next, anyone who's feeling confused by life and all that's going on around them, it's very likely that this is for you. And if you can recognize that your despair is actually rooted in disconnection from the self above and beyond all external circumstances that your mind may be trying to convince you are the reasons and the root causes of your despair, the more you can recognize it's really about your disconnection to yourself and your own knowing and your own natural flow with nature, the more you're on to a winner. And the first step that I have been offering most of the people I work with, and not just first step, the step I've had to reiterate over and over again, and the same one that I've had to take for myself over and over again, is the need for grounding, the need to connect your energy deep into the earth, and not only give your own roots and give your own light and connection to the earth, but to receive from that source of nourishment too. And in that act, to agree to fully be here, now, in this place. And a lot of this despair that has arisen has to do with not knowing what the heck is going on, not understanding this world, not understanding your place within it. So grounding, sending those roots down, connecting through the root chakra to the earth is one of the main things to come back to. 101 energy work. Please make sure you plug in today. And I also wanted to give an encouragement to, through that grounded connection to yourself, which is always available, to understand also that the despair most likely has to do with the fall of the old ways, the fall of the world we were raised in. And particularly if you're a smart woman, your joy is at risk going forward. And particularly if you are someone who has had success in following your dreams to some degree so far, you are most liable to be bamboozled by what's coming, because the old ways that got you to here will not work going forward. And so another thing I'd really like to offer today is, please don't look for the new ways on the computer. Please don't expect that the internet or advice from someone else's lived experience is what is going to take you forward, because we are being called to create rather than only consume. And as someone who's worked for over a decade in supporting people to effectively connect to what they know and implement it, I can assure you the internet is highly censored. Google is not where to find the most cutting edge support in this regard, and therefore ChatGPT and the likes simply don't include these things in their calculation. And if you are seeking out guidance from a person, I'd really recommend that you find someone who can see you, who can see you and meet you where you're at and tune into your field and your path to deliver their suggestions, rather than what is so typical, the kind of regurgitation of my lived experience, which happened in the past and came from old ways. So there is a concern within this message that wants to be expressed, which is, I am concerned for those of us who are stuck in a rut and proceeding in the rut. The rut being your addiction to external information, suggestion, strategizing. It's what you were raised for. I totally get it. But it's an addiction that needs to be recognized and released, because what's really, really needed and the security you're looking for can only come from within, can only come when you anchor yourself in what you know and create from that place. So that goes for all patterns you're experiencing, patterns of consumption, replication, compliance. This is happening in your business, it's happening in your love life, it's happening all over. And if you're someone who's here and really knows that you have a mission and you want to fulfill yourself, these things will not satisfy. These old patterns are not going to fulfill you. So when you're ready to take a risk, take a leap, and weave your way back to your own center, then I would be very happy to support you. You can find lots of free resources and courses and information on my website, and you can also work with me one-on-one in what's called a decode session, where we will either target one specific relationship tension, which is stressing you out, or one specific physical symptom that is causing you bother or concern. It all weaves together. There is no separation, and I would be delighted to invite you into that so that we can break it down, make it make sense. Unfortunately, ChatGPT, no one else actually can do this work. I'm quite sure of that. And from there, provide a reading of your system to give you the next steps. The hard part is having the faith. Hard part is having the faith that you actually know better than anyone else what you need, and following that. So I support you with that too. Much love.